Well, it is the start of a new week, Monday. It was funny. I've been so losing track of time throughout all of this quarantine lockdown period. Last night I had a serious Jones for Mexican food, and there's a Mexican joint that I really love. And I had I was salivating. I was so looking forward to it, and called to place an order because they're doing, takeout service only, and got the message closed Sunday. And I went, oh crap, it's Sunday. So I ended up eating some leftover spaghetti, but it was good. It was good. But I'm gonna hit the Mexican tonight. But at this moment, I am going to revisit TOTO. I get a lot of requests for TOTO, and I thought I would do this little ditty for you today. Now, the last time I went out with TOTO, my last posting was Georgie Porgy, and that was the second time I toured with TOTO, and that was with Lenny Castro and Shannon Forrest, David Pate, Steve Picaro, Jenny and Mavuto on background vocals, myself and Lukather. And it was fabulous. And Joe Williams singing. It was really, I love those cats, and I love that incarnation. Today I'm going to do the first incarnation, when they first asked me to work with the band. And this was with Greg Fillinganes, Tony Spinner, Simon Phillips, Steve Lukather, and myself. And I think that was it. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out, but I think that was it. And I had just the time of my life, But I've said before, I think I told it on the previous video, it was such a double-edged sword for me to be going out with TOTO, because I love those cats. I've known them since they formed the band. I've known them all since before TOTO existed. And so it was like being with family, but I was going out to do TOTO because Mike Picaro was so gravely ill at that point that he couldn't go on with them. And Hungate was amazing. Is a great bass player. And he was the original bass player in TOTO. And then when he left, then Mike took over, and each guy defined his own space in the group. When Simon came in, he followed Jeff, and it was great that they got Simon, because if it had been a kind of a Jeff clone type drummer, everybody would have been drawing comparisons and saying, "Oh man, guy sounds like Jeff, but no, not really." But having Simon with his absolutely own signature took it a whole other direction. It wasn't up, down, it was a lateral move. It just kind of went into this space. And I had worked with Simon in the past and loved playing with Simon. He's one of those world-class, amazing drummers. There were times in the set where Simon would be taking his drum solo, and Luke and I and Fillinganes would gather back at the keyboard rig, because there was a lick that we played that we had to keep playing during his solo. And Simon is like a guy who just likes to mess with your mind with time. He can go into places in time. There's that breed of guys that just have an internal clock that they can do anything, and they're still there. Cobham was like that, Dave Weckl, Vinny. I mean, there's these amazing cats like that. And Simon's like that. So we would gather at the keyboard and stand there just looking at each other, listening to his solo and looking at each other going, one, player like, one, just praying to God that we were all saying one at the same time, because God forbid one of us was off, then we would all lose confidence and be completely lost. And it was a challenge every night. I mean, Simon would twist your brain around, and it's like he just grabbed your head and squeezed it and popped it like a grape. He's amazing cat. And Bobby Kimball was the singer on this one. Sorry, I don't think I mentioned Bobby. But Bobby was the vocalist, and plus they all share. Fillinganes got a great voice, so he was singing. Luke was singing. Tony Spinner has a great voice. Tony Spinner is a badass guitar player. If you want to check some great, bluesy, Stevie Ray kind of stuff, go check out Tony Spinner's solo stuff. He's fabulous. He's really a great musician. But we had just a great time on this tour, and I adore these guys. And when I was talking about my previous video about pranks, this was when Luke pulled his prank on me. We were somewhere in Europe. I don't remember where, but we were touring pretty extensively through Europe. And I got on the bus, and Martin, the tour manager, came on, and we were all sitting there. And he said, "Oh man, we are so screwed." And we're kind of looking at him going, "What's going on?" And he goes, "Well, Luke was in the bar last night and had been drinking and got in a really bad fight, and he's in jail, and they're not letting him out. This was really, really serious." And he's building this up and building this up. And at this point, the other guys are, I don't think they knew it was a joke, but they just don't give a shit. But I'm losing it here. I've put all this effort into this, learning this show, and we're still really early on in the tour. And I'm going, how could this happen? We've got to get him out. We've got to go. And I was probably about ready to completely explode and losing it. And Luke gets on the bus and he goes, "April Fool." It was April 1st. And he set up a prank. And afterwards he said, "Thank you. You're the only guy in the band that cares about me." I mean, it was just a funny moment. But man, he completely tweaked my brain around on that. Martin really did a convincing job that Luke was in jail and that we were probably going to have to bail on the balance of the tour. So I love Lukey. He's a piece of work, and I love him as a brother. I've known him since he was 19 years old, and we've done tons and tons of records together. And some of his earliest sessions we did together. So I thought I'd visit that tour, and hold on here. I thought I'd visit that tour and play one of the songs from the set. I'll do more from it because there was a lot of great songs in it. And but the one thing I always appreciate is when somebody crafts a song that all you have to do is basically hear the first bar, and people go crazy and they jump all over it. There are just certain iconic songs that have that quality, and this song does. As soon as it starts, the crowd's on their feet and they are going nuts. So it's great. So I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just gonna play it. So here we go. This is from 2007, the Falling in Between tour. What do I use? Man, as soon as Phil and Gates hit that lick, man, crowd on their feet. In the video from the live show, crowd is just going completely berserk. It could be that we were naked from the waist down. I don't know. I would think they would be crying more than cheering. But I love playing with the Cats, and I wish I could have followed up with them. But like I had the conflict of schedule with James Taylor and Phil Collins, the same thing happened with this one, where we did this tour, and then the next tour came up, and that was when we were doing the James Taylor Carole King reunion tour, and I was already committed to that. Then they called me back, and I went back out with them and toured with them a few years later. And then they asked me to do the next tour, and at that point is when Phil Collins came back out of retirement. So, you know, you just wish you could do it all, and not so much for the work, but for the joy of it, because I so love playing with all these different people. It's really been, for me, the highlight of my life is the relationships and friendships that have developed over the years, and getting to work with all these amazing artists, and having our adventures. And there's some crazy stuff that goes on with these characters. So there's a TOTO moment for the TOTO fans out there. I'll be visiting other songs. We'll do Africa and Rosanna and stuff. I'll get to all these things. I get so many requests every day, and it's really funny. But I will get to things, because like I've said before, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I mean, I'd like to go somewhere at some point, but as soon as I hit the road again and start touring, I'm going to be doing exactly what I'm doing here, but it'll be just different locations, and bring in other people, and maybe do a couple of interviews with people. I don't know. You know, for me, this is a work in progress. I've never done anything like this before, and so for me, every day is a new learning experience. But I'm glad I'm getting to share it all with all of you folks out there, and I so appreciate all the comments, and it's really neat. I love it. So have a fabulous week. Enjoy yourselves out there wherever you are. God knows we're hitting people all over the world, so there's different things, different time zones, different climates, everything. It's pretty amazing. And at some point, I would love to find out what everybody else does in here, because this site, the way it's set up, is all about me, but my interest is always in other people. I've already experienced me. I've been there, done it, whatever. But I'd be real curious about other people. So we'll kind of see what's going on. Maybe get to the point of some live stream or something like that. So have a great week. Again, there are people out there every day working to make things be better for all of us, for our upcoming week. I'm going to go to the market, and man, the people I know at the supermarket have not stopped one day since this whole thing started. And they're sitting there in their, gloves and masks and plexiglass and all that. But, they're in a iffy environment for their well-being. And there's some young people and there's some older people in there. But their dedication to doing the right thing is there beyond, I see the UPS guy and all the people out there, and beyond the doctors and the nurses and the teachers and the firemen and the policemen and everything. It's it's a thing where the community really, for everybody's well-being, has pulled together. So take good care. I'm going to now. Last night I recorded my first track at home. I don't know whether that was a good thing or not. I did it for the immediate family. We're going to work on another video, and so we're getting the track together for that before we start individually filming our parts and then assembling it. Because I think this Friday, Cruel Twist comes out, and it's our first single as a band. And check it out. Go to our website. We have a Facebook page. We have a web page, the Immediate Family Band. It's great. Cruel Twist is fun, and the video is hysterical. So, and please come join us. I said I would get you all the information. I'm going to write it all down so that I can say it all. Our Instagram, Twitter, all the social media platforms that we're starting to hit this week. So I'll get you all that info, and I'd love for you to come join us and please like us, and it'll give us another place to hang out. So take good care, and I will see you Tuesday. So, oh God, he's still here. Jesus.